one of the things that we've been asked to do by the government is to provide some training for practitioners, but also for parents and for young people, to enable this way of working. So key working training, for example. From a professional development point of view, how do you think that the practitioners you're talking about can manage the key working at the moment?
If I were training to be a key worker, there'd be several things I'd want somebody to help me to do. I'd want to be given the professional time to shadow a family for a week, to watch the school run, the in and out of the car business, what happens when their blood sugar drops and they don't know where they're at, and school isn't coping and nobody else is helping, and my goodness me, they become bad-tempered or comatose or whatever. I'd want that work shadowing to go into the child's life during family times as well as during my working hours. And I'd want that shadowing to be seen as valuable a part of my training as anything else. I think key workers need the sorts of skills that almost a really good customer services person needs. Anticipating what a child is in need of before the child says so. If you're a particular sort of key worker, you're likely to need a bolstering of your communication skills, potentially of signing or of symbol-assisted communication or of advocacy, or learning how a child who can only move one eyelid and a thumb is trying to tell you something, all the way to how far a child throwing an absolute wobbly tantrum is also a means of communication. Falling out with you is just as much a communication as doing what you've been asked. Learning that tolerance, but also learning assertiveness, not aggressiveness, in terms of, if I'm your key worker, how do I go into battle for you without so upsetting everybody else that I don't get what you wanted in the first place, but I'm so effective that people can't say no to me. How do you make a key worker who may not be trained in a particular specialism confident enough to take on those specialisms and to say, I know you want me to go away, but I'm not.
And that's status as well.
Status is really important, but the status comes from the fact that what you're doing is on behalf of the child in need, not from the letters after your name. So in my career, I've seen extremely good classroom support assistants get far more for a child who's in real difficulty and in real need than some of the best specialists, because that classroom support assistant is the person who's with that child 5 days a week, most of the day. And they know their moods and they know their attempts at communication, and they are sometimes the best advocate that child could have. And nobody should underestimate what somebody who works closely with a child notices and can and should be allowed the time to do and to say on behalf of that child. This is not solely about the professions. This is about the people who work with their sleeves rolled up with that child every day.